Hello everyone and welcome back to more Sonic and SEGA All-Stars Racing! Alright. So, first off, since this is going to be a bit of a grind in its own right, I'm going to be starting with going for those stupid zombies. Doesn't matter stage. And yes, he's playing Nitro Kart again. Look, we're on a serious time crunch here, and we've got to use all the time we got for that.
I was mostly singing the theme song, because that's the new theme of, what's it called? The game you're playing. So yeah, we're going to do multiple things this part.
It's not going to be pure grind like the last one was, but it's still going to be mostly grind. Also, you have to bear with me if I'm a little sloppy. I'm using a controller I am not used to for this game. Because my PS4 controller's wire stopped working earlier today.
So wait, what controller are you using?
Right now I'm just using my Switch Pro controller. It's what I usually use for Steam anyway. I only use the PS...
I didn't even know that worked.
Oh, it's worked for years.
I don't doubt it. I'm just surprised, I guess. I didn't think it did.
Yeah, only the Pro controller too. Like the Joy-Cons don't.
I think the Joy-Cons do it in a really specific setup, if I'm not mistaken.
Like, you might be able to force it to, but like, there's no menu for it like the Switch Pro controller. Like, there's just a checkbox, yes or no, if you want it to be supported.
I'm tall again!
Does he actually say that?
Yes.
But yeah, like, the whole reason I used the PS4 controller in the first place is because I thought the triggers might do something weird, but thankfully I already confirmed it earlier. That is not the case, so there's no reason not to use it.
So we've evolved from, at the beginning of us recording today, I pulled a muscle in a part of my arm to my right thumb is starting to hurt a lot now.
Oh, I wonder what caused that. Oh, I know. It's called Crash Nitro Kart.
Terrible game.
It's the one he's playing
Probably
right
the
now.
worst game I've ever played in my entire life.
I mean, he says it as a joke. Then I have to remind him. Hyper Spaceway. He still gets nightmares.
Jesus Christ, that scared the hell out of me. Hello, welcome to Dog Barking Simulator.
Hello, Romper, or is that Winston?
That was both.
They
Romper's
both
in my room, but Winston's the one who provoked the barking. That's Winston.
Hello, Winston!
Hi.
Kind of surprised you can tell them apart through their barking.
Romper? What are you licking? What are you licking, Mayo?
Damn, you saw that?
Yeah. Dogs. Fucking Jeff just yelled at me. Not yelled at me, he texted me. Said told me to be quiet. The dogs just barked.
Like, that's not even on you, that's on the dogs.
Trying to win.
I'm trying to kill a lot of zombies.
Why?
Because it's one of the milestones.
Why?
Ask Sumo.
Why? Why?
Welcome, my son!
Why?
Hi, Big. Welcome to first place. You deserve it.
Why? Okay, no, I don't even need to say wow on that one.
It's like,
I know.
And yes, I'm wearing the shirt. Although I forgot to put the hat on. I'll put it on in the middle of one of these races.
It's okay. If you're wearing at least one thing, I'm okay with that. I think when you, what's it called? When that one part you weren't wearing either, and I was like, nah, we're fixing that. You're wearing one or the other.
All right. Fair enough.
Did you say Gary's mom?
Yes, Gary's mom.
I said Gary's mod.
Yes, Gary's mother.
I said M-O-D!
I know, I was making a joke the second time.
This is why I just left Yogaidr.
Oh
Hello,
man,
guys.
not
Welcome
again.
Welcome to Doctor.
Yeah, this one is just either.
Hey
No,
guys,
Shadow,
welcome to-
you killed the zombie.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Doctor.
Shadow's in
We
second
ever-
place, you. The announcer's
ever-
a jerk.
We ever changed our channel name? Because we've
Oh, we've talked about it.
What would it ever even be?
Well, I mean, for one, I feel like it has to not reflect a username I don't even have the password to anymore.
We'll call it.
And
I would say
you're
Two
talking about
Blokes
changing
Play.
your name to what?
I would say I would call it something like Two Blokes Play, but I feel like people.
That's
would
too
think
British.
Yeah, people would think we're British, and that I feel like that'd be like false advertising.
Two dumbasses play. No,
Two
that's a bit too.
retards play. Oh, is that? Am I allowed to say that word?
I mean, yeah, you're probably better off not. Like,
I'm gonna
I
be
don't
honest,
care,
I
but you're
think
probably
it's-
better off not.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. I think it's so stupid that's maximum velocity. I'm sorry. I think that's such a dumb thing that people can't even say that anymore. It used to be such a common phrase.
Oh, I
like
know.
2 years ago.
Well, not 2
Suddenly
years
no
ago,
one-
maybe 20.
I mean, not even just that, but it's been common for a very long time. Like, people have been saying that's the R word for a long time, and now public figures and stuff are, like, condemned for saying it. Honestly, I wouldn't care to say it, because it's just, like, I'm not trying to be, like, clearly offensive or anything.
I'm not trying to be politically correct either, though.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Oh, sorry, Big, I didn't see you.
It's just a phrase that people have been saying for years. Like, you trying to be quote-unquote politically correct is not something that really concerns me.
I could care less about other people's agenda. I mentioned that in this live video, but it's... yeah.
I just do what I do. I do what makes me happy. Though I do like to make other people happy.
Oh, sure.
too.
Like, I'm not trying to be a total dick about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, if somebody genuinely... Like, if I was a public figure and somebody genuinely came up to me and was like, hey, man, I feel kind of bad that you said that because, you know, I suffer from this and that or whatever, and it just makes me feel bad, then maybe I would, like, actually reconsider things. I'd be like, okay, you know, this guy clearly, you know, I mean something to this person, you know, I have a reason to change the way I look. But I'd be the kind of person to make, like, a fucking Twitter statement and be like, look, I'll do it for these reasons, but I'll have you know that just because I do this here doesn't reflect how I am elsewhere. Right, you know what I mean? Because then I don't want people gaining, like, the wrong idea of what kind of person I am. Because
sure.
like, I think that's fair.
Yeah. But...
Also, I just want to say, playing this character feels great.
Playing as Vilo.
Yeah,
Milos.
Milos.
He's the
It
best
feels
character in the
really
game.
good playing. Yeah, it feels really great playing as him. I know his turning isn't the greatest, but
Every other stat is maxed.
yeah, everything else is so good that it feels like his turning is fine. And unfortunately, I probably can't mark off anything for you again.
That's
Sorry.
fine. I'm probably
I've
only
been
going to go for
usually
those
really
2
good on it.
milestones anyway.
Usually I'm the marker guys for him, but
I mean, the last couple of videos I'm used to doing it myself, so whatever.
sorry. Makes me feel bad because I make it feel like I'm doing literally no work again, but
He clearly
On
is,
the-
he's training!
I'm doing harder things currently.
He has to raise Vilo as Vilo.
I'm actually so glad I don't have to beat the ghosts for him. Granted, Entropy is like a slightly worse version.
Yeah, like, Entropy wouldn't have been too bad.
Probably not, no. But I will admit, he feels a million times better than Entropy already.
You already
remember, I
unlocked
did
Entropy?
actually... No, I did in what's it called? Your save.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So which now is a waste of time, but if anything, the only thing that it wasn't a waste of time was getting some experience in these tracks. But that's about it.
Oh well.
That hurt my fingers desperately. And I wasn't even close to velo time. I hate my world in life. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Goofy, no! No Papa Roach for you!
Suffocation. No breathing. Don't give a fuck if the cut my arms bleeding.
Goofy, you're from Disney! You're not allowed to say fuck!
This is my last resort.
How could you, Goofy? Children look up to you!
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation. No breathing.
Oh no! This is like depression version Goofy.
Friendly reminder that the Donald version of Simple and Clean is potentially the greatest thing on Earth.
I forgot that existed and thank you for reminding me.
My favorite part's when he breaks down in Japanese.
Yes! I thought the audio was broken at first. Like, I'm pretty sure when I showed you that clip, I said that the audio
I
just
sent
freaks
it
out
to
here.
you. I was like, this glorious fucking shit.
Are you sure?
was in
I
my
could have sworn
recommended
that-
videos.
That's what I did to you. At least I thought, well, it doesn't even matter anymore.
I think we probably just sent it to each other, inevitably. I'm gonna beat all Velo Ghosts with Fake Crash.
No. 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 Not even as a joke.
That is actually just hard mode right there.
It'd maybe be better if I stayed back and got an all-star.
Maybe it'd be better if your mom.
How am I still beating? I'm playing like I'm a staff ghost. I'm not drifting. I'm intentionally driving on bad surfaces.
You know, I don't know what's worse, the fact that the staff ghosts are like that, or the fact that in Crash Nitro Kart, Entropy is kind of like that.
I mean, at least Entropy is competent.
Selectively. I think that's what makes me more like, I don't know what's worse, the fact that he's selectively competent, or the fact that he's like kind of competent.
I can
I
at
can see
least
the argument
believe
that they're
in,
both bad.
but I can believe that he's being played by a person at least. Which, I mean, I'm sure Sonic and Sega's is too, at least in this game. I've seen the time trials in Team Sonic Racing. They are not pretty. They have redeemed themselves. Don't worry.
They are not pretty because they're beautiful. Just like you. You're beautiful.
Oh, why, thank you.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This has turned into like a weird PSA now. You're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
What the? Oh, okay, I got attacked by Tails, and now I have Tweety Birds.
Now I am Tails. I don't even know
I
what's
know the
going on
flickies.
anymore. I got attacked by Tails. Now I am Tails.
Oh, that's how that works. So it's a zombie apocalypse. Actually, for this level, that's very fitting.
I have a question. I probably know the answer to it, and I really hope that the answer that I think I know is correct.
What is it?
Have you ever seen the English dub of an anime called Ghost Stories?
No.
We should watch it sometime. So basically, I'll tell you the story of it. This randomly came to mind. I don't know why, and this is like literally the greatest thing ever. So basically, the English version of Ghost Stories, when they were dubbing it, I guess I don't know if it's that they realized the material was just not that good, or like what happens, but it's like I don't know the true story, but basically something happened internally where they told the dubbers to like they gave them like a vague idea of the script, and then they said just do whatever the fuck you want, basically. So
it's a complete storm of ideas.
It's basically an abridged series, but it's official, and it's
that sounds amazing.
It is so fucking funny.
Oh, I would bet.
It has some of the stupidest things you could like think of, and it's so good. It's so bad it's good. That's the entire point. Like they literally everybody it's so good. There's like compilations online of some of the best stuff in the what's it called? In the thing, the dub, there's some scenes that they show as like this is the best part of what's it called? Like best scenes from this, best quotes. It's not the same thing. It's more fun to actually just watch the entire thing. Because if for anybody who likes abridged shows but hasn't seen Ghost Stories, which I believe is what it's called, the anime, the dub version, it's literally an officially licensed version like of the dub.
I'm more surprised. Like, don't you usually have to get that approved by the original creators?
You know, this was like early 2000s, I think, like late 90s anime. So
so there were no rules. This is back in the 4Kids era.
Yeah, it's like really. I don't even know if it's poorly voice acted necessarily, but it's fucking hilarious for all the wrong reasons. Or rather, I guess all the right reasons. I think he would have a ball. Honestly.
From the way you're describing it, yes.
Do you like abridged series?
I've never really watched any. I should. It seems like something I would like.
So if you know an abridged series, then you know how ridiculous they are.
I know that much.
So just imagine that, except it's like an officially licensed product. And this is like literal voice actors doing essentially an abridged anime, except it's not abridged. They were literally told to like improvise, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'll actually Google it, because I want to know the story myself. It's probably on like the Wikipedia page, because it's definitely improvised. Because it doesn't follow the story at all. The subs, aka the original Japanese version, is literally the original thing. So like they're completely different.
They're like, oh, whatever. Everyone's gonna watch the sub anyway.
It's so funny. It is so good. After I do this race, I'll Google it real quick, just because I want to know the story, and I'm pretty sure you're probably interested on why.
Yeah, I'm starting to get curious too.
I'm just doing Meteor Gorge right now. Definitely beating all the Velo ghosts. I wish.
One can dream.
That's what we call a pipe dream.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have plenty of those in our future, aren't we? I mean, technically, I can say my pipe dream is having all the milestones for this game completed.
My pipe dreams is never, ever to play video games ever again.
Oof, that's gonna be hard.
Why is the Meteor Gorge time so much faster than mine when I did a really good job?
There must be some secret shortcut, I guess.
It's like 10 seconds faster than me. What am I doing wrong?
You used the shortcut all 3 laps, right?
Yes, without a problem.
I have no idea.
Alright,
but I'm assuming the rest of the track went okay.
Yeah. Ghost Stories Anime. I think that's the name of it, I'm pretty sure. I like how the first video was the Ghost Stories Episode 1 original English language parody dub.
Oh my god. Great.
Alright, so let's see. There has to be an explanation somewhere. I assume it's ADV Club. On the weekend of August... Actually, let me read this real quick. Okay. On the weekend of August 19th, 2005, at the 2005 Otakon and Anime Convention, ADV Films announced on October 2005 release of Ghost Stories on DVD for North America distribution. ADV's dubbed version retains the basic plot structure and storyline, but alters much of the dialogue into comedy written by ADV screenwriter Stephen Foster and ad-libbed by the voice actors. The original Japanese audio and literal subtitle translations are also included on the DVD. The dub received favorable reviews, and the original Japanese licensor, Aniplex, approved the changes.
They liked it?
Volume 1 of Ghost Stories was on sale on October 22nd. So yeah, it was just one of the dudes got the rights, and they said he rewritten some stuff.
I think my favorite part of that is that the original creators liked it.
Yeah, like they kept the original. What's it called? I don't even know if it's the original creators. It's the fucking studio that owned it or whatever. The licensor, the original licensor, gave them the thumbs up.
They're like, good job. Can't
So
wait to
they
work
must
with you
have
again.
they must have been talking, and he must have been like, "All right, guys, imagine this story, but this time
Everything's a joke.
everything's a joke, and we let the voice actors ad-lib things." So yeah, it's just one of those situations where it has the base plot, but then there's just random shit that has absolutely nothing to do with anything that they talk about. And it makes it the funniest fucking thing on earth.
Is it something where you have to see the sub to understand anything that's going on, or?
No, if you want to watch the sub, you're gonna watch the normal kind of pretty boring version.
Okay.
The dub is what transcends it to what's it called to like meme amazing status. The sub is like the original Japanese is like serious, and the dub is just a joke. It's literally just a joke. I love it. Maybe one of these days, either you can watch it by yourself, or we just like sit down and just watch it. It's like 19 episodes, or 20-ish minutes.
Okay, so it's not that long.
Yeah, it's of the voice, like of a general shitty story, and then a whole bunch of English voice actors just ad-libbing stuff to make it basically an absurdist comedy at that point.
Sounds perfect.
It's really good. I wonder how they ad-libbed it. Did they look at the like animation and were like, what if we just add a story here about nothing?
So, what if we just turned it into Seinfeld?
It's like so good.
I wish I could at least know my progress on this, but this is technically supposed to be a secret milestone, so they won't even tell me my progress until I've completed it. Thanks, game. What? Okay. If you're gonna laugh like that, you gotta tell us why.
Hold on. There's a part of the dub. There's just a bunny, and this character is just like, she's just like,
There it is, the chariot. I got it.
she's just like, I miss this bunny's touch me, or he's like, no, I miss this bunny's laugh, and then he's just like in a deep man voice. He's just like, then he's like, his touch. And then he's like, or his requests, touch me. And his apprimands, touch me harder. This is an official dub, by the way.
I love this.
It's so good. Oh,
It's horrible, but it's perfect because it's horrible.
holy shit! It is so fucking good. It is so good. I don't know why my mind just remembered this tonight, but I'm so glad it did.
I mean, I guess this is a horror themed stage. It kind of makes sense.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, definitely highly recommend anybody who has never seen it or heard it before. You should definitely watch it if you want like some good laughs. It was definitely dubbed to be absolutely stupid. As a matter, if it was ad-libbed. So, or at least it was probably mostly ad-libbed.
That guy was definitely voiced by Silver's VA. 100%. The guy that got the All-Star... what's his name? Jackie
Have you got
Akira.
the All-Star?
Yeah, I got it in the last video.
Sweet. I know you have them written down, but again, I can't check unfortunately right now because I have to unlock
I updated it already.
entropy ghosts.
I just wanted to finish that race still. Get the miles.
I'll probably unlock entropy ghosts and then I'll probably stop playing for the night. Then I'll do that rest like tomorrow or something. Tomorrow night.
Alright, I guess it doesn't really matter what stage you do for this one. Anything but treetops is good.
Hey, can we do treetops?
Oh, sure, later. Actually, no. I almost did the same mistake. No, gotta go back.
I can't. I'm still just like baffled yet extremely happy at the same time that my mind just randomly decided to think of this really stupidly done dub. It's so good. I can't get over it. It just, every time I think about it, I just get a fucking shit-eating grin on my face. I'm just like, it's so fucking stupid. And now that I know that the original Japanese licensors were totally a-okay with it,
Yeah,
that
that's
just
the
makes
best
it
part.
even more funny to me. I feel sorry for the creators if they wanted like any semblance of seriousness.
Yeah.
Like, oops, sorry. That means the American.
You know, at least they kept the official Japanese dub in there, and it's something.
Yeah, at least they have something, I guess. But it's just so funny. I love it. I'm so glad. More people should do that. Like maybe more people should have, I guess, an official abridged series of certain like really popular series. Because on YouTube there's a bridge series of, like,
left and
so
right.
much stuff. I mean, hell, I think, was it Yu-Gi-Oh? Was that the original bridge series that got really popular?
I think it was Dragon Ball, but I'm not certain.
It was either Dragon Ball or Yu-Gi-Oh. One of them got really popular. Both of them, I think, are really popular now, but like one of them got super popular, and that just made everyone at that point wanted to start making abridges of like every single really popular anime. So there's abridged versions everywhere, but in 2005, you'll know there is an officially licensed abridged anime. Unfortunately, for a lot of abridged series, though, it doesn't have to necessarily be anime, but just like abridged series is.
I just realized that
Usually, they just take a whole bunch of clips of stuff. You know what I mean? Like usually they take a whole bunch of clips and then add them together and say this is episode whatever, and it like condenses a whole bunch of stuff. That's like my only downside about abridged stuff. For the most part, some of them actually do like full-on episodes, but if you're gonna commit to a long series, then that's a lot of commitment. Like imagine trying to abridge the entirety of Naruto.
How long was that? It was a few hundred?
So the original series is like 251 episodes if you include filler. And then Shippuden is like 500 episodes if you include filler.
Oh, but can't forget about Boruto.
And Boruto's still going on right now, and I want to say I don't know how many episodes. If I had to guess, it's like maybe around 60-ish or something, 60 or so.
Oh, now the All-Star shows up. Oh, whatever.
I guess if you want to be really, really bad, Detective Conan abridged, that anime has literally, or no, Shin-Chan anime doesn't have 900 episodes. I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, no, the Detective Conan, that anime has a solid like 900 episodes probably at this point. Anime is very long-lasting in Japan.
I guess as long as you can hold someone's attention.
It's just like cartoons. It's
cartoons
like
usually don't last more than 3 seasons over here.
Well, I was gonna say it's like cartoons in the sense of like, oh, well, imagine we have like The Simpsons, we have Family Guy. I don't even know how Family Guy is still alive. It's not even remotely funny.
Oh, I don't think it was ever funny, but it at least had something.
Like, at least Family Guy has like
that's some semblance of charm.
Like, it has a scene or two at least, right? But it's not entirely. I feel like I'd be discrediting the show if I said the entire thing was always terrible. There was never ever a hitting joke.
I've never seen it. It's there, and I've seen a lot of those earlier episodes too. I feel like the game is actually trying to stop me from getting this skill point. I'm actually kind of happy, but I'm also kind of mad.
It hates you.
But I'm also kind of happy because I'm going after that one.
Ugh.
So, also, I said I was going to put the hat on. So, hold on. There, it's on.
I'm allowed to hit big.
Well, unfortunately, I have to.
So the real question is, in this part, are you going to attempt to get the golden Miles thing, or do you think you're gonna just try to get like a lot that it's almost done?
I'll probably get a lot. Like, ideally, in my mind, I would like to get around. If it happens around 700k, it is not gonna happen. But
I assume that you want to get at least really close. So then, when you're doing,
I want to get at least 600k at the bare minimum, because I started at 530.
I assume you probably want to get like 700k, like you said, though. So that way, when you're doing the other, like the last year missions or whatever, it's like almost done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I assume that's your intentions.
Yeah.
So that way, you can kind of get them all naturally, the rest of them.
The game is making me work for this. Like, Big is not being one of my opponents.
I wouldn't doubt it if they hard-coded Big to be, like, really difficult to get because, you know, everybody doesn't like him, apparently.
Oh, no, he's here. Okay, finally.
This was the closest Velo Ghost I got from just doing a normal time trial.
Go ahead of me for a bit.
Don't mind me.
Alright. I just noticed it's easier to get an all-star if they're all way ahead.
Crash, 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 why must you always muck in my mud? It's me, Clancy Brown.
Money, money, money. No, if we ever end up helping a SpongeBob game, that's gonna be fun.
Wait, we have SpongeBob games on our list.
We have a game, yes. The terrible PlayStation one.
Oh, why did you choose that?
Mostly as a joke, to be honest.
Well, if we have that, we might as well put like Battle
for Bikini Bottom doesn't work on Dolphin. That's the problem.
It should by now.
It didn't last time I checked, and that was only a couple months ago.
It was really weird. I know what you mean. Like, it has these really weird...
None of the textures work, and
when they do
general
work,
frame rate is only like 10 frames.
Yeah.
It's not playable from where I'm concerned. Oh, sorry, Big. It's time.
Maybe I'll eventually just buy it.
Avert your eyes.
I'm not looking. Too bad you can't avert.
Oh no, it didn't happen! I missed him! He teleported in front! The game doesn't want me to hurt him!
The game knows. Why is the out of time loading screen? Why does the track look nothing like the loading screen?
I mean, it looks similar. There is that tower there. You do have
There
the worms.
is, but there's like a track going around it, which isn't in this game.
Yeah, that I have no idea.
Beep, beep, beep. Hey, it's me.
Oh, now Big got it. Oh, no. It's gonna be the hilarious amount of karma if Big comes back to get me. Especially because I missed him.
This is what you get for trying to get me.
Run away, little guys!
Froggy!
And Froggy we twast! Say it with me! I have to relearn this level, because this level's in Team Sonic Racing, but they changed a decent chunk of it. I have to relearn the whole thing. Because in general, the vehicles are heavier in Team Sonic Racing, so they can't do those crazy jumps.
Is it just like heavier
Like,
physics?
yeah, basically. But
Sort of like how CTR feels heavier and more precise than this game. I guess it's a
Yeah.
good comparison. This
But
game
like
feels a
it's
lot
actually
more
like the
floaty.
cars themselves are actually heavier. Like they stay in the air for less time.
Who is your favorite team in Team Sonic Racing?
I mean, pure time wise, probably Team Sonic. But if I have to choose, I mean, it's hard. But I'm gonna say Dark because I really like Omega, even if that means I have to include that character.
Ugh.
We don't talk about her.
I heard Team Rose is missing Cream, which
Yes.
is apparently really weird because apparently I guess Cream is actually in the game.
I haven't noticed, but Omochao is in the game.
Why?
Omochao is part of Amy's team.
Wow, that immediately just makes that team really bad. Sorry, Big.
Oh no,
Honestly, sorry, Amy too.
But Amy's team just in general has a history of being not that good.
We need a more classic Amy.
We need Rosie the Rascal, clearly. I can't make this jump apparently. There.
You know what's really sad when you think about it? At least in my opinion, I think is really sad. We had to get American Sonic fans to bring back fucking Mighty.
And how does that work? And I know you're right. It's just there. I got it. I completed Catmania.
Thank God I didn't have to look.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, it's really sad that they got
Forgive me,
that.
I've
Also,
seen-
they brought back that other character from the same game.
Yep,
Like they were all
Ray the
in the
Squirrel.
same game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
Ray
the
the
Sega
Squirrel,
Sonic
which-
the Hedgehog.
Yeah, which it's just there's something so bizarre about the entire situation.
Oh,
They
I
had to
know.
get American Sonic fans to like forcefully bring them back. They couldn't do it themselves, apparently.
Yeah, that's too much work.
Apparently, yeah. It's too much work. I mean, haven't you seen Sonic Forces?
That game feels like the epitome of a rain check.
My name is Infinite.
You know, the sad thing is that game took 4 years to make. It does not show.
Man, imagine a game taking 4 years to make.
It
but
turns
doesn't
out
even
like
take
that.
4 hours to beat.
I mean,
It's gonna
I
be
beat
a
the game in
yikes.
2. First time around.
I think it took me.
And that includes
3.
Episode Shadow. That
I
wasn't
think it
skipping
took me
cutscenes.
3 because I was not including Episode Shadow because I did a lot of a lot of side missions or so. There was a lot of something I did that artificially like extended my time.
Alright, time to mark my sins. Catmania is completed. And since I'm up here, I might as well write down that I did the Choo Choo for their All-Star.
Does it count? You should check. I mean, it should.
Yeah,
but
it
you know.
should, because all it is finishing a stage after and use their All-Star to attack somebody. It has to have counted because I attacked him.
I attacked our Lord and Savior.
I attacked the king! King
Oh,
Big and Lord Froggy! He's the best character, and he doesn't even have any spoken lines.
No, Big is the best character. I can't put Froggy in good grace over Big.
I know, like,
Froggy.
in a perfect world, I feel like he would be something like Mr. Pokelope from Psychonauts. Like, he seems like he's a mute, but then suddenly he just starts talking this super deep, slow voice.
I want Raz to go inside Big's mind.
Oh, yes! Sorry, that's
Actually,
the
that'd be
second
terrible
LP
for him because he's got a bad.
Oh
feature
yes,
with
water.
Maybe that's how he dies.
Maybe.
Maybe that's the terrible fate. Okay, the closest I am getting to any of these times by just doing the stage normally is like 5 seconds away from Vila Ghosts. What am I doing wrong? Besides playing the game.
Well, okay, you took the obvious one, so...
Hey, I thought you said no more treetops. What are you doing here?
Well, now I have to do treetops because I'm at the pure miles grind at this point. I should have checked what my miles were at.
I still love the fact that you made the thumbnail of the last part Bubsy over a frame of treetops, but you
well, 2 parts ago now, but yes.
You literally cannot see.
You can barely see treetops. Like, you have to know it's there.
If you didn't tell me it was treetops, I would have just thought you got a picture of the Bubsy the thing. Bubsy.
Did somebody say bobcat hunting? They actually kind of doing well now.
It's funny because you're like, I don't usually like hunting anymore, but
I'll make an exception for very few select animals, like bobcats or dolphins.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that Bubsy is just pure terrible, or the fact that Echo the Dolphin is on Bubsy tier, except you think Echo the Dolphin's a good game.
Oh yeah, I still think Echo's a good game. It's just, it's left me in the same emotional state.
It's like, I can tell because you seem to love, or not love the game, you seem to think it's a good game.
But I trash talk it all the time.
Yeah, the game's like mortified you. It's apparently on the same tier as Bubsy, but he still thinks it's a good game. How do you think Ed would feel if you told him, I think your game is on the same tier as Bubsy, except I think it's actually a good game?
I'm not even sure if you would have a proper response for me. That's what I'm seeing on
And that's when he leaves the Skype call and the interview ends.
573. It's actually a lot more than I thought it would be. That actually makes 700 a lot more feasible. Like, it's still probably not going to happen, but...
I'm tall again!
I mean, come to think of it, like, was the robot suit completely destroyed? Why does he not use it, since he clearly prefers being tall?
It was, like, actually just decimated. I didn't know anger destroys your suit. If you're an alien race, just saying this to all you, reptile aliens out there.
Of course. We don't judge unless you're a bad person.
If you're disguised, if you're angry and that ruins your disguise, you get off this planet.
Wait,
and also rethink your technology.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, your own planet probably isn't much better. In fact, it might be worse. Just terrifying to think about.
You know what's terrifying to think about? Aliens.
Yes.
You know what's terrifying to think about? What lurks in the ocean.
I know what lurks in the ocean. It's a dolphin. It's seen aliens.
You know what's the scariest part of Echo and just aliens and ocean and all that stuff together?
Drugs?
There could be something that lurks in the deep ocean that looks exactly like the Queen.
But it's not in the ocean. She's not down there. She's way up in outer space.
No, I'm just saying there could be. It wouldn't be her per se, but I'm just saying there could be something that looks very similar that exists on our planet.
Oh, sure.
That lurks in like.
There are some absolutely terrifying looking creatures that live on our planet, especially on the microscopic level. Like, then you see real terror.
Honestly, I've said this before. I don't know if I said it to you specifically, but I've said it to many people before. But I'm not scared of the ocean, like going out on sea, I guess, really too much. I'm not as scared. Like, I'm not hydrophobic and stuff like that, like, legitimately. But the entire concept of, like, the deep sea and how really unknown it is absolutely terrifies me. It's almost as scary as, like, thinking about what truly exists in space itself, because we just don't know. And there's something really, and it's even, I think, it, honestly, as scary as that seems for, like, the, what's it called? Like the universe, you know, how there could be other beings out there, but what do they look like and all that stuff. As scary as that can be, they're all probably really far away. They're not as, like, you know, there's a low probability we'll probably ever see them, you know, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
The scary thing about the ocean is that shit's on our planet.
Yeah, that's at our next door.
For all we know, Godzilla actually exists.
You just prefer hanging out underwater.
There are unrecorded sounds for a reason. And most of them exist underwater, funny enough. And some of them are just, like, loud sounds that people can't explain. And they're just like, I don't know. Just loud sounds. Though it's funny, because I think most of the time they usually end up being, like, either whales or, like, just some sort of man-made object just doing a thing. There was a wiki page full of, like, unexplained sounds, but most of them ended up being, like, literally, like, some sort of hydro center doing a thing.
Boring.
Like, let me actually check the page. Okay, how do I do on Clockwork Mumpa? I'm still, like, 8 seconds behind. This game hates me. And I hate this game.
Well, at least it's mutual, everybody.
I hate life. Unknown sounds. List of unexplained sounds. Because it also has a list of explained sounds, formerly unidentified. The bloop is the name of an ultra-low frequency and extremely powerful underwater sound detected. Yeah. Analysis, the sound source was roughly triangulated to a remote point in the southwest, yeah. And the sound was detected several times. Or inscription, let's see. It was several times louder than the loudest animal recorded, the blue whale, which when you think about that's scary, but it was formally unidentified. And, oh yeah, this is what most of the unidentified sounds are. It was attributed to a large ice quake.
Not an earthquake, an ice quake. Okay.
Yes. There was one called Julia, and the sound was most likely a large iceberg that had run aground off at Antarctica. There was something called the slowdown. It was one of the hypotheses that it was the sound of moving ice in Antarctica. This suggests the source of the sound could have been caused by the friction of large ice sheets moving over land. And then there's something called the train, and the train is a name given, blah blah blah. The sound raises to a quasi-steady frequency, and the origin of the sound is most likely generated by a very large iceberg grounded in the Ross Sea. Well, see, the thing is, they're not truly unidentified by this logic. This is just what they're presumed to be.
Sure, I forgot to turn off hazards again. I'm gonna do that real quick.
Wait, what is this? Oh. Wait, what? What is this?
What's the what?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay, save. Good. That's your first
Apparently there are 2 colossi that were built. Or there were multiple colossi that were built, and they make noises because of the temperature.
Okay.
There's apparently unusual noises heard near the One World Trade Center, attributed to the wind moving through and around the unfinished building. Interesting.
Very.
There's a sound called the bioduck. I need to know about this. The bioduck is a mysterious quacking-like sound which was first reported in the open ocean by submarines in the 1960s. It is recorded frequently around the coast of Australia, and in particular in the Perth Canyon. It was claimed that the source of the sound had been identified as being vocalizations, I thought that was pronounced totally different for some reason, from the Antarctic minke whale. Although the reason the vocalizations remain a mystery, they appear to be produced near the surface before deep feeding dives. There are hopes that analyzing the history, location, and frequency of the sounds will enable something researchers to learn more about the life cycles of the mink. Imagine being a big whale and people are calling some of the sounds you make attributed to a fucking duck, a bioduck.
Sora!
The bioduck. The only thing I've heard about on this page that are about like see also / other / non-specific. Yeah. The only thing about these that I know besides the bloop is the hum. But I don't think the hum has been completely explained yet. It's just like some sort of humming noise that just exists that people can hear. Alright, what are the two? There are 2 currently unidentified sounds that have been detected by the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So they're called the upsweep and the whistle. Upsweep is an unidentified sound detected. American, yeah, okay. This sound was present at the laboratory. I can't speak apparently. The source level is high enough to be recorded throughout the Pacific. The sound appears to be a seasonal, generally reaching peaks in spring and autumn, but it's unclear whether it's due to changes in the source of seasonal changes or is in the propagation environment, The source can be roughly located at, and there's coordinates, near the location of inferred volcanic seismicity, but the origin of the sound is unresolved. The overall source level has been declining since 1991, but the sounds can still be detected. Huh, interesting.
Okay.
And the whistle is similar to a volcanogenic sounds previously made in the Mariana Volcanic Arc in the Pacific Ocean, but since it was only recorded on 1 hydrophone rather than the 3 required to triangulate a location, it is considered unidentified. All the unknown sounds are from the ocean.
Every last one of them there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Wikipedia page. There's probably a page that has a lot more, but the thing is, like, at that point it becomes, like, what is more credible?
Oh, yeah, that's what it boils down to.
because then there's always going to be conspiracy nuts saying that this thing isn't explained or this thing isn't explained.
The moon landing was faked!
Then they're going to be like, the Loch Ness Monster exists, I swear.
Yeah, his name's Gordy.
Imagine if his name was just like something simple like Jim. George. The Loch Ness Monster. we give all these like crazy animals and stuff like specific names. Meanwhile, the Loch Ness Monster, like we finally learn how to translate what animals speak, and we figure out the Loch Ness Monster actually exists. And he's just like, we're just like, Nessie, we're finally glad we can speak to you. Is there another name we can call you by if that name is uncomfortable to you? Yeah, you can call me by my birth name, George.
Okay, George.
Yeah, my mom named me that, you know, after she was watching TV in our underwater TV.
You know, as we do.
You know, as we do in our normal Nessie life.
Excuse me, your normal George life?
How old are you? I'm a couple 100,000 years old. How long has TV existed? Oh, you know, about 500 million years.
Everything old is new again, I guess.
Be really funny. Clearly, I should make an absurdist comic / story. It would be amazing.
It would either be terrible or the best thing ever.
Honestly, I think I could probably do it. I don't know if it'd be the greatest thing, but I'd probably think it, like to others, but I'd probably think it's the funniest shit in the world.
Well, everybody always thinks they're hilarious when they're trying.
True. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think I could probably do it and get some people to laugh. I don't think I could be somebody who could write and make that stuff on a consistent basis. Like, I don't think I could say, like, write novels and stuff like that, and then people would be down with absolutely everything. But I feel like I could be the kind of guy to make, like, some of those, like, silly, absurdist, like, comics / videos or something. Like,
I mean,
short
I've already got those
film
ironic
stuff.
reviews, although I don't know, they still come across more as actual reviews than ironic in any sense.
Well, that's like kind of the point. They're supposed to come off as ironic yet kind of true at the exact same time. But I'm saying like more of a legitimate, what's it called? Like absurdist, like ridiculous sort of thing. Not something like ironic review. Something I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. Like kind of like Psychonauts in a sense. Where it's got that like sort of like really weird humor.
Yeah.
But like maybe in like a comic form or like a maybe a art form, video form, any form. It doesn't really matter.
Well, in Fishopolis... Yeah, you brought up Psychonauts already. I can keep that train going.
I love Psychonauts. It is a game about Psychonauts.
We'll be starting that game for too long since Sly's done now. Like,
How's it gonna feel 100% in the game again after like recently?
Oh, I know, like especially because like some parts I just did not have a good time. Like I don't know how much of it I can blame on my color blindness and how much is just in general.
I mean, I had a hard time too.
Exactly, that's why I don't want to blame too much of it on that.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that I struggled in places like the dance party level because I couldn't see things quite right.
I couldn't see things quite right in Black Velveteer, whatever it's called, so I don't think it's too out of the bag to say, you know.
Waterloo was another one. I guess I'll save all that for when we get to that game, which won't be too long now. It's replacing Slide. It's going to replace this game too. I'm just going to have it up, have 3 videos a week.
You're gonna play only one game?
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a while. Now's as good a time as any.
Is there any particular reason why?
Well, I mean, for one, I've been wanting to do that for literally years now. I've been trying to whittle it down. And I'm at a good opportunity now where I can.
I guess you can theoretically say mind games have been kind of like that. Or like in the sense of I'm playing one game and then I'm playing Kingdom Hearts because that's always
Yeah.
going to be one of our things for a while.
Yeah, like I guess part of it too is that I do really like that you managed to have something that's 3 days a week. It's just even if we did kind of have to skewer the original schedule to make it work. Because fun fact, the way I originally had our schedule set up is that I would have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He would have Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday would be a co-op game. But co-op game didn't work out because Crash Bash broke.
And we need help, please. Somebody who's really has expertise.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Nitro Fuel kind of screwed up our schedule even more. So, what ended up happening is I had to seed him one of my days, so now he has Friday, but I end up being the co-op day, so...
I don't mind having, because I expect to do 2 games for quite some time anyway, so I don't mind having 4 days of the week anyways. We can't even it out. It's literally impossible at this rate.
Yeah, like the only way I could even it out again is co-op.
Is if we forced another co-op game, but I think we don't really want to put that on ourselves just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it for too long, but...
I would love to be able to get fixed first.
Crash Bash?
But,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But things
I'm
like,
kind of...
we're never going to get it fixed on our own, that's the issue.
Yeah, and I'm kind of scared that LP might be inevitably can, just because there's no way we can truly fix it.
Yeah, unless somebody can help us fix it, but...
Actually, I kind of take that statement back. To an extent. I feel like the only way, at least at this current moment, that it would be redeemed is if we actually ended up like being roomies or something similar at that point. Because then at that point, it could actually happen. Because I have a physical copy of the game, and even if I didn't, I'm pretty sure that we would acquire it somehow. So... I'm not too concerned. Like, I don't think it's never ever gonna happen again, but I think it's just gonna be a while unless somebody can fix it or it fixes itself.
Or if we just end up doing a different co-op game that isn't bad.
I feel like BBT is next. I'm not gonna say the full name.
Yeah, or I guess Sonic 4 is still an option. There was a couple others on there
yeah,
too.
I think that'll be first, and then in terms of like a more long term, I feel like BBT is our next go-to.
Yeah, and then Tac 2, which you gotta get to Tac 2 first. That's not gonna happen for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw, but I do want to try to see if I can make Ratchet Deadlock work, because I forgot that game has full-on co-op.
It has co-op?
Yeah, for the full thing, which I know would make the grind a million times easier, so...
I thought they closed the PS3 servers is the issue, though.
Well, I mean, that was only for the competitive scene anyway, so it wouldn't have helped us.
Oh.
I was talking like loading the PS2 version with NetPlay.
Oh. Like PS2 emulation? Come
Yeah.
on. Is that even a thing?
Apparently.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I just never personally heard it. I always felt the PS2 was always slacking behind in terms of emulation. So.
I mean, it has to go up against Dolphin. That's the problem. But it's
Yeah.
always going to look bad by comparison.
Everything's going to look bad by comparison because Dolphin's the only one that's open source. Because for some reason, people don't think lots of people working on an emulator is the most efficient way. I don't know if there's any other popular emulator at this current moment that is, what's it called?
Open source?
Like, I don't know if Citra is. I don't think it is, but it could be.
I want to say it is because of how frequently it updates.
Yeah, I was about to say it might be because it updates like literally like 7
Every
times
day.
a day. And the only other emulator I can think of that does that is Dolphin. Actually, I want to say PCXXE2 does it now too. It's funny because I feel like emulation just overall in the past few years it's gotten somewhere. I feel like people are actually actively trying.
They're trying
really
for
hard
once.
to make it work.
Like before, they only cared about making games, boot up, and that was it. Like, okay, if it's good enough.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with how digital this era, I guess, has become.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people want to try to preserve things as best as they possibly can. I could be wrong, but I
And,
feel
you
like
know,
that.
the more time that goes on, the harder it's going to be able to play those, especially some of the more obscure stuff.
Which is really dumb because I'm going to be completely honest, or the whole digital age thing, it's dumb. Like the whole downloaded stuff, I hate it. And it's not just because I hate having to download things all the time, because that's not too bad if you have good internet. The reason why I hate it is because with the flip of a switch, suddenly your entire library is gone. And that's what I hate about the whole download/digital era, is they could bring down the PS3 servers, and they could say, oh yeah, by the way, all the games that you own, we can't let you re-download as the servers are officially dead forever. Then, like, what's the point of having your PS3 anymore at that point? As opposed to if you have, like, the discs, you can still at least put them in, install them, because that's just how system works, and then, you know, go from there. It's just an example, I guess, of a console that might die out inevitably.
I mean, I feel like it has to at some point. PS5
Well,
is right around the
console
horizon.
does. 'Cause it's not like the NES or something like that, where people have lots of NESs and
Although
SNES
NESs themselves are dying because physical hardware dies too.
yeah, which sucks. But
Like,
there's always gonna be
that's
people
physically
that have
impossible
back-
to stop.
Yeah, but people have like backwards engineered it and stuff like that, so you can get like custom versions, and I highly
Yeah.
doubt that market's gonna die out. So
Plus things like NES Classic.
yeah, plus that. Which everybody's making. Everyone and their moms are making the classic at this rate, which is fine. Just don't screw up like Sony America did.
Yeah, they wanted $100 for those things at first. Like, I think like a month ago when I was going through Best Buy, they were selling it for $20 and it still felt too expensive.
It's hilarious too because the Japanese lineup of it is so fucking good in comparison. It's actually.
I didn't know they were different. What's the difference?
You want me to list off the name of games?
Sure, 'cause like,
Alright.
I couldn't think of a single game on the. Or actually, no, I can think of two on there that I think belong there. It's Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid. That is it.
They picked like the worst Tekken game, I think, too. And it doesn't help that they were stupid and decided to do make it all PAL region.
No, they only made half of PAL, which makes even less sense. So now it doesn't work for anybody.
Imagine using the inferior versions of games because their TVs were just weird and people coded things weird. Yeah, I know it's a bit controversial maybe to an extent to say that I think the PAL versions are worse, but I honestly think they are because some of them don't even function
Oh
properly.
yeah, no, I don't think it's controversial at all. Like the format itself saying NTSC is better than PAL, that might be controversial. But saying the PAL games were worse than NTSC, no. I don't think anybody will fight you over that.
Yeah, I think the PAL versions of games on the PS1 specifically were like that for the most part, because a lot of them were made for Japanese, like the Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
PlayStation,
In Japan,
or they were
NTSC
made in
as well.
America. Yeah, or they were made in America. As a matter of fact, I think all the dev kits, even like European companies, dealt with dev kits that worked at 60 hertz instead of the weird 55 hertz.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
So now original PS1s in PAL are in this awkward spot where they had to like edit some games. Like for example, Crash runs faster in PAL.
I mean, to be fair, at least they attempted to compensate. Most games didn't even do that.
All right, I'll look at the lineup in a second. I just finished this race. I need to beat a race when I'm in the middle of it. I can't ruin the groove. My fucking fingers are hurting like crazy though. So this is a good spot for me to at least take a look at something different. Stop it! I hate the name select in this game. Or the name thing. 234. Is that even close for assembly lane? That is 2 seconds away. That's the closest I've been. Okay, let's see. PS1 Classic. I want to say PS4 Classic. PS1 Classic. Japanese. Might be on the Wikipedia page.
I wouldn't be too surprised if it was.
It's so weird how some of these are PAL. Why did they make Tekken 3 PAL?
Who knows?
You can't. You know what's even worse than having like a slower version of a game just because that's how they were made at the time?
Yeah.
Having a fighting game being the slower version.
Oh, and remember, they only have one controller for those games. So you
Oh,
can't even play
that
with your
too.
friends. Which for
Okay,
a
well
lot
this
of
has
reasons
like
matter, but
this
fighting
has exclusives, but I want a list that just shows specifically the Japanese games.
yeah, you're gonna...
Okay, you ready for this?
Sure.
Arc the Lad 2, Arc the Lad and Arc the Lad 2, Armored Core, Biohazard aka Resident Evil, Director's Cut, Final Fantasy VII International, G Darius, Gradius Gaiden, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Megami Ibune Roku Persona,
So,
Be Your
Persona.
Mind, yeah, Persona 1, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Parasite Eve, Ridge Racer Type 4, Saga Frontier, Super Puzzle Fighter, that's Roman numeral 11X, Tekken 3, Toshinden, Wild Arms, and Psy, aka XI.
So most of that actually seems the same as the American one, at least of the games I actually cared about.
They got Armored Core and Parasite Eve, Gradius, Saga Frontier, and all of those are like big red flags for me. Though to be fair, Saga Frontier is like another Square game, and that's like, really?
I mean, the only game I noticed wasn't there is the original Rayman, which I know that's on the International PS Classic.
That's on NA, PAL, Korea, South, East Asia, stuff like that. I'm still baffled they even put fucking Rainbow Six on there. That was the dumbest mistake. Why would anybody want to play a PS1 FPS game? I'm sorry. People talk about, GoldenEye was really influential and stuff like that, but anybody who's ever gone back to that game will say, I would never play that game nowadays.
Oh, sure.
Like, who would want to jump to a PS1 FPS where it probably works even worse? And I think Rainbow Six, I think, does work worse.
Especially since the traditional control scheme for FPS games on consoles, that didn't really come around until early 2000s.
Until dual analog existed.
Yeah.
And then
Which, remember,
I
the
was
PS Classic does not offer the dual analog support, even though that system did have it. Because, I don't know, they really wanted to prove how they couldn't have Ape Escape on the system, I guess.
I want them to remaster the iToy.
You joke about it,
where's-
I'd buy it.
Where's iToy Classic? I want them to use the same shitty, like, 2003 webcam technology.
Again, you joke about it, I would buy it day one. That is exactly the kind of stupid crap I would waste my money on.
I would too, just for the novelty factor. It's funny because I do make a joke about that, but with all the like classics and like minis of consoles coming out, it's quite possible something like that can come out.
Yeah, I'd say it's reasonable.
No joke. When I go to my like Walgreens pharmacy, they have like fucking Namco Bandai classics.
Oh
like,
yeah,
minis.
like NES, SNES. I know Sega's making an official one for Genesis.
They have Echo the Dolphin on it, therefore I have no reason
Yeah.
to ever buy it.
Yeah, I don't want to own an official version of Echo. I don't care if they're bringing over a game that was originally exclusive to Japan and Europe that people are apparently really excited about, but no. I don't care.
They don't have Alien Soldier on it, though. They just have Gunstar Heroes, which, I mean, more people know that game, but they don't have Alien Soldier. It's like a better version of Gunstar Heroes. Kind of. Gunstar Heroes is more of like a side-scroller, like, actual shooter game. 2D shooter game, and then what's it called? Alien Soldier is that, except it's not really, it doesn't really have levels. It more of has, like, kind of levels, and then the rest are bosses. It's a really good game, actually. Gunstar Heroes is also a good game, though, in my opinion. Don't know if you've ever played that before.
Never even heard of them.
Alien Soldier I can expect you to not hear about. It's kind of a niche game that was released overseas. I think it was like through the SEGA channel or something really specific.
So it's something that hardly anybody used because it was the 90s.
Well, it's a Genesis game. I don't know if SEGA channel was Genesis. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah, I think it was SEGA channel only for anybody that wasn't in PAL, essentially. So for the most part, people thought it was like a Mega Drive specific game, you know, overseas. But no, if you had SEGA channel at the time, you could get that Alien Soldier.
But again, 90s. You were lucky if you had internet at all.
Yeah, I don't know why they would want to make internet stuff exclusive at that time when it was like baby stages. Like, you'd have to be really lucky. Hell, you'd have to be lucky to have computers at the time.
Exactly. Like, I know our family didn't go until like the late 90s.
And they even computers sucked back then. Not just because just because obviously we're on more convenient and amazing hardware now, but it was just unintuitive as shit if you ever go back.
Oh yeah, I know.
Not to harp on Windows or anything, but God, Windows, you suck. Honestly, the old Macs were terrible too. People always thought that Apple tried to compare, or it tried to mimic, the Windows. I never really got that impression, because Mac was always its own thing. Windows was always like gamer stuff. Games, convenience. If you got a Mac, you were somebody who was like, that's like literally always been like a working man's computer.
Just funny because at least when I was working with Macs, it was 100% the opposite. Windows was the business-oriented one, and Macintosh was the one used for playing around and playing games, stuff like that.
Well, like, people nowadays still use Windows for a lot of stuff, but I mean, like, if you're doing, like, for example, like, video editing, or, like, artwork, or stuff like that, a lot of stuff like that, you know, especially a lot of people in, like, artistic fields, like music, all that sort of stuff, you're more than likely going to use, like, a MacBook Air or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know a lot of people who have PCs and they'll have a fucking Mac laptop strictly to, like, make videos and stuff, like just to edit videos and such.
Can't imagine why you would do that, but it's an option.
Because Macs are more efficient for that sort of stuff for the most part. Also,
I know when I was using Mac, that definitely was not the case, but maybe they've gotten better in 10 years.
Why do I have ghost data for Hyperspaceway?
You probably saved it in your 8 hours without realizing.
Why do I have ghost? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I beat both Entropy and Velo. I totally forgot about that. I have one more stage then left. Electron Avenue. Then I have all the ghosts unlocked. Well, not all the ghosts, but I have all Entropy ghosts. I don't have to practice on those. I just need those done so then I can... So then I can practice Velo boost.
Yeah. If you can beat Velo, then you should have no trouble beating Entropy.
Then what?
Then you'll have no trouble with Entropy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think I've said this before, but Entropy ghosts generally are kind of pathetic. Kind of. Some of them I've been close to losing to, but that was more of like, I found out that I was close to losing to at the last second. I was like, oh, I won by 2 seconds. Interesting. I didn't know that. I thought I was way further ahead. Like, that's like the worst it's ever gotten. Man, Electron Avenue. The best stage in video game history. Right? Is that how that works?
If you think so, sure.
Ah, Slide Coliseum. The best racing stage to ever exist.
Now that's just factually incorrect.
Turbo Stadium.
Turbo
The
Track.
truly best stage to ever exist. I love being fast. Fast. Mayo Doctor's favorite food. Speed.
How'd you know?
Did you see that Sonic quote I sent you today?
I thought your middle name was The.
I think they say that in the Sonic Boom shit.
Yes, they do. I remember the episode.
Knuckles is just like, I thought your middle name was The. It's funny too, because if I remember correctly, he sounds really serious.
Oh yeah. Knuckles is a complete total idiot and boom, so makes sense.
I mean, that show is very self-aware. They literally poke fun at like the fan base and stuff like that, and like even like trash that's happening, like in the series, like trash games and stuff like that, like something, a reference to like people knowingly dislike or whatever, and they'll be like, huh, and then they'll break the fourth wall. Sometimes they'll even look at the audience.
Yeah, I saw a decent chunk of the show. I left when I saw there was a not so subtle Justin Bieber episode.
When there was a what?
Justin Bieber episode? Oh yeah, or sorry, Justin Bieber. They weren't even subtle.
He hasn't been relevant in forever? Not for years.
I mean, relevant how? Because he's still in the news plenty.
He makes music in, like, he's in the news and stuff like that, but I mean, like, relevancy is in, like, he's nowhere near as big as, like, when he was, like, childhood star and
Oh, sure.
everybody knew the name Justin Bieber. Like, sure, I'll hear people nowadays be like, ugh, Justin Bieber doesn't make real music. Whenever I hear somebody say that, I'm like, are you stuck in 2012 or something? Because it's just stuff you don't hear normally, I guess. And trust me, I'm in like music like groups and stuff, so it's very weird for me to hear stuff like that. Because he makes music and stuff like that, but I don't hear people being like,
I just don't think they care.
maybe not. Maybe we've all just stopped caring. I just always figured it was a dead joke at this point because, you know, he's
I mean,
older,
people
whatever.
definitely still like. I still hear
Oh,
it
yeah,
once in
man.
a while.
I've heard it. I've seen it. I've seen comments literally from like a year ago.
Well, like,
or, like, a
and
month
I don't
ago.
think he's ever gonna outgrow it fully. Like, we're probably still gonna be talking about it in like the 2050s.
Of course. Until he's dead. And then they'll talk about
Yeah.
him after he's dead.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll die in real life, just like in the game. You die in the game, you die in real life. Alright, I gotta be sure that I have unlocked every single ghost, so then I can finally rest my fingers for like a day.
Probably not even a day. Probably more like 12 hours.
Yeah, something like that. Ugh, my hands hurt so much. Not even my hand, it's literally just my right index finger and my right thumb.
So how long are we gonna make this part anyway?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're at 80 minutes so far.
80 minutes.
Only 40 minutes of that has been treetops.
I guess
the other
after
half
this
was
you should...
the Kapu Kapu.
I guess after this you should check your miles, and then we can base
Yeah.
it off of that.
I'm guessing we're probably at the 600,000 mark by now. Like, last time I checked we were at 581, so yeah.
When did you check last time?
Probably at least like 20 minutes ago. At
Maybe
least,
we've
probably
gained-
more.
Maybe we've gained 1,000,000 miles now.
And each time I finish a lap, it's usually either 2,800 miles or 3,200. One of those two.
Or 5 million.
I wish. But I would be done with this grind in one lap.
So I have 2 ghost datas that don't exist because I forgot to save them. Or one of them. No, I have 1 ghost data that doesn't exist. Should I just redo that stage? It's Tiny Temple. Just to get
Just
ghost data
allow
on
it.
it.
I got 26 that time. Must have really sucked, I guess.
What? Oh. My fingers are in pain. Mommy.
Honestly, my right index finger's not doing so hot either. The
It's
Switch
time
Pro
for
controller
me.
was not made for holding down the ZR button for extended periods of time.
It's time for me to cry.
We are well past 600. We're at 627.
Wow. You're so good at video games? It's a matter of, do you think you want to keep doing a little more, or do you
I'll go for a while. Forget 700k. We're not doing that. But I'll go for a while longer. It's like the longer we do it now, the less we have to do it later.
I think my only concern now is, like, do you think we will need another grind part or not?
Possibly. So the thing is, we still have, I think, either 9 or 10 characters to get all-stars off of. And even then, like, I could not do it this way. There are other ways to do it outside of that. Like, we could do Grand Prix again, for example. Something that's more visually distinct.
I mean, you said you weren't even going to touch this stage, this part, and here we
Well,
are.
I said I wasn't going to touch it for the first bits.
A while.
Yeah. Because I
And
knew
by
it
a
was
while,
going
you
to get
meant
boring.
like 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, I specifically meant that for the Captain Big Grind.
I don't think I've like looked at this game, like you playing at all since you started. Except every now and again.
It
since you
doesn't
started
matter,
True
but
Talks.
it's a grind.
Yeah. That's why he doesn't care that I'm playing CNK right now. Well, that and I need to practice.
He really does, guys. He's in for a fight.
I am. My fight or flight is already responding. Would you fight or would you flight?
Considering the circumstance and what you're fighting, flight. Absolutely. I will run away like a yellow belly chicken. I don't want to face Velo, are you kidding? I have no shame.
Oh, Vilos Milos. You guys don't understand how much fun that is to say.
Really, I don't.
You know, I do. It does feel good that I'm basically playing a Penta Penguin, though. I mean, he's not as good, but he's like basically as good.
Penta was literally broken. Velo, I'm pretty sure, was intentional.
The only difference is I'm like not max turning, which actually kind of does, unfortunately, not help in a few stages. I'm 3 seconds away from Tiny Temple. Well, okay, maybe these won't be bad if I try. Like, I'll check my last time I got on this one. Because this isn't going to be my ghost data. Oh, it's literally just a few milliseconds worse. Of course. I'm gonna cry tonight, thinking about a big green fat guy.
Big feet, green fat. I mean, I can see the big green, but I didn't think he was that out of shape.
Didn't you see his like stomach in the last cutscene? It's
No.
quite big.
Oh,
It's fairly
okay.
large. I mean, he has a fat face, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's
Yeah.
fat. He also has a huge underbite, so that doesn't help making his face look any better.
Excuse me, he
He's
is
going to
beautiful,
get
and you
fixed.
know it.
You're beautiful. He's quiet, guys. He doesn't know how to take compliments.
What's a compliment? Shut up!
I'm dead inside. Meanwhile, Mayo's like, "Hi, dead inside." It's me.
Look at me.
It's me, not dead inside. Alright. now I have that memory card set up, or a spare memory card set up. So then, when I get back to this game and I absolutely destroy every single velo, I'm letting you know, there's a high probability I'm gonna just pre-record the velo ghosts.
That's fine. Makes the video shorter. We'll know for
Entropy,
a fact that
no.
it's gonna be one.
Yeah, it'll be one whole video. Entropy, I'll do like in one video because I think I can do it. But velo ghosts, whew. Unless I can start consistently doing it, but even then, I still can't like make promises. So then, I think I'm just gonna have to post. I think I'm just gonna have to pre-record them. I think I have no choice.
That's fine.
If we want it done realistically, is. Want to be back
fine.
for a second? I have to use the restroom.
Alright. See you in a minute. Okay then, so back to the grind. How do you all feel about dolphins? Personally, I do not want to see one ever again. I've been traumatized. Why did I bring up this topic? I hate my decisions. Everything I've ever done that led to this moment was a mistake. It all started the day I formed a co-op channel. No, Doctor, really? Fine. James been getting a lot of these. There's open cold. That's right. How many miles am I now? Okay, I know I passed the 630 mark. I was so close to it before. How long should I go? I'm thinking maybe 650. It's not unreasonably long. Because...
Milos.
Alright, just talking about how much longer we're gonna keep this going. I'm feeling 650. That's
Friendly
decent.
reminder that Ghost Stories is something you should watch, specifically the dubbed version.
Alright,
It's really good. It's really funny.
if you say so. I mean, I probably will end up checking it out at some point. If it is
It's really
what you
fun.
say it is. 636, okay, so 15k, so probably
I
5
could
more
literally,
runs.
after this, you're done recording, could send you the rabbit video, and then I can reassure you, or you have to remember, that it is an officially licensed dub. It's so good. Play to earn SEGA miles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thanks, Sonic. I would have never known.
Although the second part's just wrong now. The whole
Yeah,
bind
Sonic.
thing.
Now you're just feeding us false information.
Yeah, I think I've got 5 more of these before I hit 650, and I think that's where I want to draw the line for this part. This part's been going for 90 minutes now. Maybe I'll just search this video. Just as a safe precaution.
Sorry, I'm just singing the greatest theme song to ever exist in the universe. Besides Big's theme.
Hey, big guy! Hey, little guy!
Which is actually funny because Lazy Days is actually a great song.
Exactly.
I love Crush 40.
That was said poorly, but okay.
I love Smash Mouth. I love Limp Bizkit.
I feel like he realized his mistake a second too late.
I love Shrek. When's Shrek month?
Well, somebody
Yeah.
decided we had another thing to do next year instead, so it's going to be at least 2 years.
On the bright side, if we were to ever do Shrek month, we have an
We'd have so much
assload of
content.
stuff.
We could do several Shrek months.
That could fulfill like 2 entire months.
I'm pretty sure we could do a Shrek year if we wanted.
Year of the Shrek.
4 movies,
2020.
several video games. Pretty confident saying there's a TV spin-off out there somewhere.
Yeah, but does it feature Adam Sandler in it?
Who knows?
I only do months where Adam Sandler's involved and evolved.
But he wasn't in Megamind.
Okay, that doesn't count. See, he's our Lord and Savior, so he's different.
Okay. But
When-
he's not involved in the one you want to do next year either.
Shh. He is if you think about it. And pretend. When are we gonna do Jim Carrey month?
Never. I don't want to suffer that badly.
When are we gonna do Sonic month?
That's pretty much every month on this channel.
When are we gonna do Sonic only month? When are we gonna have Chain of Memories month, where all we do is play card games and try out every combination?
Oh no! That
We
might
have
be
to
the
make
one way
five-
to make the game even more boring than it already is.
We have to do the 500 decks achievement / trophy, except we have to use each deck at least once. When's that month?
I never want that month to come, please. Is that too much to ask?
When's Xenoblade Chronicles X month, but all we do are the quests that never end?
Why are you the one bringing that up? You're the one LPing that game.
When do we get to do Psychonauts month?
Okay, you thought you were tightly strapped for content of Megamind month? I mean, to be fair, a sequel's coming out this year. Presumably.
There's also the VR game.
Yes, but the VR game's like an hour long.
There's also like, yeah, but you can split the game and then the VR game into parts, like 31
True.
parts or 30 parts, depending on the month. When's month of fuck?
We're not a porn channel, and I don't plan to change that.
When's month of typing of the dead?
Are you just naming every franchise that comes to mind now?
When's month of Spyro the Dragon? When's Bubsy month?
You take that back.
When's Echo the Dolphin month?
You just hate yourself. Is that it?
Yes.
I see.
I need professional assistance.
Blink twice.
Suddenly, I'm blinking rapidly. Clearly, we need to do Aquaman month.
Please no. I don't want to play that game again. I don't even want to see the movie. They ruined Africa. How do you do that?
Superman month, but we can't watch the movies.
So we read the comics?
Or the comics.
What's left?
The video games.
Oh. Oh.
Month of... Month of your mom.
Month of what did you just call me?
Month of... I can't say it. You banned me from saying it. You paid me pizza. That was my catchphrase, and he paid me off of it. I can't even say anything close. He won't even let me say... Like, what if... I'm gonna start saying it in Spanish, and you're never gonna know.
I'll just assume that anything you say in Spanish is...
Ask my friend to tell me. Ask my Japanese friends to tell me how to say it. I'm gonna say it in a new language.
You can never get away with it more than once. So I'm gonna fact check you after it.
You can't fact check it if you don't know how to spell it.
That's right.
That's why I'm gonna pay professional translators. And by that point, after like the third one, you're gonna know. But then that's when I mix it up and start saying something else, something very nice. And then you'll be like, you'll never know. You'll think
I'll
it's
be
me
like,
saying
never again. I don't care.
and I'll be like, Mayo Doctor is the best friend on earth.
Screw you, never again.
And then the next video, I'll be like, Mayo Doctor is a wonderful person, and everybody should talk to him. And then the next time, I'll say, Mayonnaise Doctor is super cool and very heavy on the work, and he does a lot of good things.
And then he goes back to saying the cursed phrase.
And then, yeah, and then I start saying it again for a little bit. And then I start moving on to, Mayonnaise Doctor helps elderly people walk across the street.
It almost sounds like you're trying to make a G-Man joke, but I know you're not.
And then I say, Mayo Doctor is better than the G-Man. And that's almost impossible.
That is impossible. What are you talking about?
See, that's why I have to butter you up. So that way, I can sprinkle in the sacred forbidden phrase. One more, just one more.
Yeah, I know. I don't want it to go on forever either.
And then and then after he finishes the race, he's like, just one more.
I'm not addicted. Shut up, Mom.
Just one more
I
Kirby
can stop
part.
anytime I want.
Just one more Kirby part. Just one more
Actually,
Kirby
I
part.
was thinking of stopping after that last one, at least to check on my miles.
Just one more Kirby one.
One more Kirby.
One more Kirby. It's funny because
that wasn't even that long an LP. It was only 8 parts.
It's funny because we made it. We joked about that. Meanwhile, at the beginning of Sly, you were just like, "Okay, just one more though. Just one more.
Just one more."
We're in Frog Forest still.
Excuse me, this is Treetops? Is every jungle Frog Forest to you?
Yeah, it involves Frog, which relates to Froggy, which relates to Big. Big is in Sonic Heroes, so it all comes full circle.
I mean, I'm actually okay with that streak of logic, oddly enough.
Sweet, now I just have to link the forbidden phrase and Big and Froggy into one.
Okay, so Big, Froggy, Final Fortress. They all walk too far together.
You're not allowed to say that. I meant the forbidden phrase. Other forbidden phrase. the three word one.
Final Fortress?
I'm about to fucking punch you. I'm getting heated, guys.
I still don't even get his trauma.
Took me 10 years to beat.
So?
Batman.
I can think of plenty of games that took me 10 years to beat as a kid.
Oh yeah, like what?
Any of the Crash games, I couldn't beat them to save my life.
Oh.
I don't think I beat any Crash games till I was 12.
Gosh, you were such a dumb kid. It's okay though, I was too.
Okay, yep. Actually, that was the perfect number because I just barely passed 6,000 or 650,000.
I can almost taste it. Victory.
Yep, and by the time we get through the remaining characters, the All-Stars will probably be around 7,000. So there'll just be a little bit left at that point. I'm thinking we probably have 2, or actually no, 3 parts left because I want to have a bonus video. So, for now...
Alright, it's time. Alright. Okay. heads, we're Japanese, and tails go to the next page. We're Chinese. Why is there a China and a Hong Kong?
I'm not
I take it
sure.
back. Heads were China, tails were Hong Kong.
Sorry, Japan. Okay.
Siri, flip a coin.
Siri!
Tails.
I guess we're Hong Kong, which is still Chinese, but okay.
I guess the legal rights of Hong Kong are kind of out there, so sort of makes sense.
I've been to Hong Kong. No, it was Beijing. I'm stupid.
I know, those aren't even close. I mean, I guess
I
they're both
know.
China, sort of.
Yes, they are both in China. I don't know. I guess Hong Kong.
Sort of
is
like
a little
it's its own landmass. It has its own government.
Hong Kong is weird.
It was run by Great Britain until 2000.
Why do you know so much about Hong Kong?
It's just geography in general.
Is this what you do on your free time? You're just like, I wonder what's happening geologically today.
Yes. So, thank you all for watching. Next time I'm gonna probably get the remaining All-Stars with everyone.
And then I get to cry.
Goodbye.
Hey, that rhymed.